This is gonna be my first playthrough with Europa Universalis V. Welcome to the channel. I'm Victus, and this is my first time ever. I'm just going to enjoy this beautiful grand strategy, one of the most acclaimed and difficult, complex grand strategy in the market. So let's get on with it. Welcome to Europa Universalis V. Europa Universalis V's deep historical grand strategy came about the fate of nations during the late Middle Ages and early modern period, as they vie for global power through war, diplomacy, colonization, and social and economic change. If you are new to Europa Universalis and its mechanics, I suggest selecting one of the recommended countries. This is a play with a recommended country, or if you are an already experienced world leader and want to skip the tutorial, click the select any country option. So I'm going to go for, I think the tutorial is going to be good. We could select in between Castile, Naples, the Ottomans, Hungary, Holland. Interesting that they have put Holland here. I just made a run with Holland in EU4. And Norway up in the north. So we have here recommended countries in 1337. This is the new date that we all know about. So I think that it is going to be a good option to select Holland, I think. Because I have made a lot of runs with Castile, so I think Holland is going to be good. So the country of Holland, the focus of the country is governed by Count William of Avesnes, who also ruled the counties of Zeeland and Hainaut. Despite these diverse domains, Holland's location off the North Sea coast, halfway between the English Channel and the Baltic Sea, makes it a prime area for economic exchange and the development of a strong industry. If these opportunities are exploited, Holland could become a major economic power in the coming years. Focus on the economic development of your country, pursue national prosperity by exploiting the land, constructing buildings and roads, and exploiting and importing goods in different markets. What's this? Do not start the learning walkthrough at game start. Let's begin. So there we go. I've heard a lot of things about EU5. They have put all together the most important and everything that they have learned in between Crusader Kings 3 to Europa Universalis 4, Imperator, everything is here. Welcome to Europa Universalis V. Nearly 5 centuries of history are about to unfold before you. As the spirit of your nation, you have the power to choose how. You conquer the world, develop your society into a flourishing utopia, or become an unrivaled economy power. Whatever you choose to do, history is yours to unfold. Camera controls this and the scroll wheel, it runs very nicely. You can see an overview of the whole world in this is the whole world. Okay, let's see what we got here. Tooltips. You can go to country here. For instance, say that you play as a country. This thing, it's going to tell you typical tooltips of EU5. Here you can see. Nested tooltips are accessible by waiting a short time for them to lock. Okay, let's just go hover your mouse over the blue text. There you go. And then here. Your nation, here you play as the spirit of the nation. Let's remember that you are not the ruler, you're not the people. You are the spirit of the nation. So you're currently playing as the country of Holland, a county of Holland, a country with Count Guillaume as its ruler. This is the ruler. Count Guillaume of Avesnes. He's the Count of... What is this? Do we start within these territories in Europa Universalis IV? I think yes. So he is the ruler. Okay, let's see. The top bar is showing you as we go. The top bar is this part over here. Section of the top bar displays the states. This is the Hollandish state, which are groups that hold power within a country. Okay, these are the natural states as we know it. As a player, you are represented by the crown. The crown, the state power of the crown. And we will get back to the states later, but for now, keep in mind that every state holds a percentage of the country's wealth and power and has a level of the state satisfaction that you can track on the top bar. I think this is the green bar here. The distribution of power between the states will vary from country to country, with some countries having access to unique states. The top bar, the next, let us take a look at the resources and statistics. In the top bar, we have, these are the states, these are the resources. Here we have the gold, stability, total population, legitimacy, prestige, diplomats, war exhaustion, manpower, and sailors. Everything is shown in here. You need to spend ducats for many actions in the game for playing your soldiers. Population, the most important resource is the population, which is this. Yeah. We have Low Franconian, Frisian, Ashkenazi, 0.43 Ashkenazi Jews, Judaism, the 0.43%, and Catholicism, 99.57%. I think here we can see peasants and stuff, burghers, soldiers, clerics, and nobles, every single strata of the society that is going to be present on the country. So the population are the foundation of politics and economy and armies. Another particular important number is your stability. The stability is here, a measure of your internal resilience that will help you to keep your states and population loyal. We will visit the rest of the numbers when they become relevant. For now, let us continue. Europa Universalis V plays out over the course of hundreds of years. You can see the current date in the top right, April the 1st, 1337. We're still in the Middle Ages. And we have the Age of Traditions, and it is going to be divided in 6 ages. This is the speed, as we know it. Right now we are in the Age of Traditions, which will end in the year 1342, and to give way to the Age of Renaissance. With each age you will have access to new advances. Advances represents ideas, inventions, technologies, and so on and so forth. This is the main panel. Let us take a moment to go over some basic elements of the interface, starting with the tabs in the top left. There are 8 different panels: government, economy, production, society, diplomacy, military, geopolitics, and advances. Each of them. You can go for F1 to F8. Here we have hints over here. Hints can be consulted at any moment in the hint panel. And whenever you see the icon in a tooltip, click it, will take you to a related hint. Gameplay introduction. Europa Universalis is a vast game that allows for countries different playstyles and possibilities, regardless of whether you fancy yourself a ruthless conqueror, shrewd politician, administrator. There are some fundamentals that very successful rules need to master. Balance. This is the economy. As we mentioned, ducats are one of the most important resources in the game. Most actions cost ducats, and very often your ability to impose your will as a ruler, both outside and inside your country, will depend on the wealth you are able to concentrate in your hands. So the balance, here you can find an overview of your balance which is the actual amount of money that we got. I think the tax base is this and the tax efficiency. The income is 4.97 and the expense is 877. Thus, we have an expenditure of, or a loss of money of 3.80. So the income and expenses will be added to the treasury, and you can manipulate the different sliders in the panel to modify your monthly balance. As we just saw, the difference between your monthly income and expenses is also displayed at the top bar. Here we have the taxes over here. Most of the wealth in EU5 is generated on monthly basis in your locations. Locations are the smaller units of land and part of provinces, which are each single part of this that you can see here. We will talk about locations later. For now, we can hover the tax base here. And it is going to, you're going to see a disclosure of your richest locations. So we have Den Haag, which is the one that we got the most tax base here. And this is where the ducats are being generated in the county of Holland. So you can see that Leiden is the less rich. I think that is showing us here Leiden, Alkmaar, Rotterdam, Hoorn, Amsterdam, and Den Haag, this and that. You can see that the place that we can tax the most is Den Haag, and Amsterdam is the third place. The taxes do not directly go into the treasury, so the ducats don't go, the money don't go directly. As the government, you can collect a fraction of the tax base by exacting taxes from your estates. Here we see Edel tax income for Edel, and it says you can see the level of taxation by adjusting the tax sliders in the budget panel. So I think this is the tax slider that I have. So it's 25.14. So if I reduce it, it's 24, so on and so forth. This is the tax slider. Now notice how the state satisfaction drops to more the more you tax them. States do not like taxes. I think that the state satisfaction is shown. Let me see. We have 25.14. I cannot tax more, or I can tax less. So the less I tax, this is the little state satisfaction, the little face. So I can go up to here, which is a 28, but I'm going to go to the 24.14, 25. Let's leave it like this. So here you can see the little state satisfaction that drops the more you tax them, but we cannot tax them more than this, apparently. The maximum tax you can set for each state depends on on different factors, like how powerful they are. Sometimes you might not be able to tax specific states at all. If they are more powerful, they are going to eventually allow you to tax them less. For now, we recommend you automate your taxes by clicking on the cog. So this means that the computer will automate the taxes. And by clicking on the cog, that will tax them the just amount to keep their satisfaction over 50 as soon as you unpause the game. So we can say, okay, the burgers and the boren, all of this is going to be automated, including this estate tax of this estate. So we automate them. Aside from taxes, another significant source of income is minting. I think this is the thing that we are talking about here, minting. You can freely mint to your heart's content to fix your budget, but minting too much will create inflation. And you can see here the inflation amount. I think that right now is 0. No, it's telling us that it's 0, and the base value for every country is minus 0.10. So you can learn more about inflation in the inflation hint. You can go here and see hints here for inflation, and you can click here. And inflation simply increases all expenses for a country, so it should always be avoided. Okay, one thing that I'm going to say is that definitely this is an excellent addition from the previous iterations of the franchise, because here we have basically all of the information, and we can know if we don't know what is inflation, we don't have to go to the wiki. It includes a wiki here. It says that we should mint some ducats here. So we were at 9, so I'm going to go 11, something like that. The monthly income. The other two most common sources of income are the trade and food. I think that here we have production, markets, trading. Here we have trade. The trade with the Brugg market, the suggested imports from Brugg. Since those are more advanced concepts, we will not cover them for now. You can learn about them whenever you feel. Trade hint and food hint. Okay, now unpausing. Let us unpause for a bit before looking at the expenses. These are the running costs of a country. Okay, wait a second. We should, at this point, I wish I could see the colors here. They're shown like this. Okay, you can adjust the speed at which the game runs from the top bar, speed 3 to 4. So here you see speed 1, 3. I think this is post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Through 4 are good pace to start, but every player has their own preference. You can also press space to unpause. Unpause and pause. And let us look at this. It's hour by hour. If you go on pausing, it is going to go hour by hour, something that don't happen in EU4. EU4 is day by day. So we're going to increase the speed, so a month should pass. There we go. May the 1st. Wait. There you go. So monthly expenses. Many actions in the game cost ducats the very moment you perform them, but even when you are not actively spending your ducats, your balance has to bear the burden of regular monthly expenses. You can spend ducats on increasing stability and legitimacy, two of your most important stats that we saw at the top bar. So, the maintenance cost of your standing armies, navies, and active fortifications can become a significant hindrance. Reducing their maintenance during peacetime is a sensible idea. Adjust the budget sliders to end up with a positive monthly balance, as you can see here. So let's see. The sliders of the, if I'm not mistaken, if I click here, I would see the markets, the goods, the army. This is the military. So if where is the tax here? Now we don't have armies available. Let's see, navies. There we go. 2 navies. But where's the tax? Let me see. Economy. I think we have a positive. Yeah, we have a positive monthly expenses, so we don't have monthly expenses. Many actions in the game cost ducats. This, and that. Okay. So perfect. You have understood the basic of balance. Income and expenses are calculated at the end of the month. Ducats are generated in your location and collected by your estates, which you tax in order to fuel your treasury. Open the government panel. This one. The states are one of the keystones, and not only are they the source of tax, but they can also be powerful assets. Let us take a closer look at them in the government panel. So we go here to states, and here we see the crown, adel, this one here, the bourgeoisie, and the boren. So groups that control the political power, and each state has a percentage of state power as the embodiment of the nation you are represented by the crown. Your crown power represents your ability to oppose the particular interest of your states. It allows you to exact higher taxes, it increases state satisfaction and your support in the parliament. It makes changing laws easier, and it provides a percentage of the profits of trade. Your states can be powerful assets when managed correctly, but if displeased, can quickly turn into an insidious thorn in your back. On top of contributing to your treasury with the taxes, states are essential to the business of war. Levies are the ones used to fight until you can afford to replace them for regular regiments. That is eventually what happened in history. So you had the medieval levies up to regular regiments. However, if they are disloyal, they might start supporting rebellions and occur a civil war. Finally, states whose satisfaction is above 50 will provide different bonuses to your country. The privileges here, as you can see, you can either even bribe the state, can't be granted privileges. We have land rights. I think they already have them, which usually increase both their state satisfaction and the state power. Revoking privilege will both anger and weaken the target state, although that can be costly endeavor that will likely ruin your stability. How do we do that? There you go. Are you sure you want to revoke? Cancel. You just right click to revoke. Despite them increasing the power of the states and thus reducing your crown power, some privileges might align with your interests. Granting a few privileges in times of need can be a wise course of action. Okay. Social classes. State population. In Amsterdam, this is the total, and this is divided into which amount of this state is in each of the places. And you can see that this is the social makeup of your population is divided into different social classes. Each social class supports a different state. The nobles support the adel, the clerics support this one here is supported by the clerics. This is the cleric state that you can see here, the symbol. This is the nobles because of the castle. These are the bourgeoisie, the burghers, which are the burghers that are supporting this state, and the boring are supported by the peasant, the laborers, and the soldiers. So it's the rest of the population. So the map, the world of EU5 is made of different countries that own locations on the map. In this case, we own this location. The location is the smallest unit of land and part of a province. Its base characteristics are defined by topography, vegetation, and climate. Each location has a raw good which can be generated. So countries is the whole thing, and locations are the actual regions, the areas. So these are the areas where you can get the resources. If you zoom out, you will see country names appear on the map. So we have Kingdom of England, Brittany, everything that is according to the age, and all of the incredible thing is that the amount of effort that went in doing the whole city-states of the Holy Roman Empire is amazing, is fantastic, is very complex, and it's brutal, you can see here. So hovering over them will show you the country tooltip, and clicking on them will open the foreign country panel. Let's click Berg here, and it's Solingen, you can see. And you can see what is the terrain and stuff like that. It's part of the Holy Roman Empire. Okay. You can learn about and interact with the country, zooming out to see countries like this. All of the countries that we see and that we know, obviously, is the whole freaking world, but we just know about this area. And this is zooming out to see all the countries, and open a country panel by left clicking on a foreign country. Let's see the Golden Horde, so on and so forth. Countries are nothing without locations. Locations are the heart of the economy and the politics of the country. They produce goods and generate tax base, but they are also home to population of different social classes, religion, and cultures. Locations can have three different location ranks. You can see it here. This one here is the town. The city is We don't have cities here, apparently. And rural settlements are rounded. This is a city, the city of Brugge. Do we have a city here? No, we don't. Just have towns. We're just made of towns, and you can see these small little castles that appear at this distance. The most important location for any country is the capital. Your capital is Den Haag, in the case of Holland. You will recognize it on the map by the golden star. The golden star is this thing. I think it's telling us what is the capital of each of these. The Kingdom of Hungary, they have this one, Buda, Austria has Vienna, so on and so forth. Here we have Stockholm. You can also find any location by pressing F to open the finder. There you go. And let's say we want to find Paris. Click here. And it shows you. If you are zoom in, it shows you here. Click on your capital, Den Haag. Okay, so Den Haag, let's take a look at the control groups. It says they live at the bottom of your screen. What is the control groups? Click on Den Haag, press Ctrl 1 to assign it to a control group. They live at the bottom of your screen and serve as quick ways to access a variety of things in the game world. You can assign locations, countries, markets, armies, and more to a specific number key. Let us try to assign your capital Den Haag. When the Den Haag panel opens, press Ctrl 1 to assign it to a new control group. Ctrl 1. That's the control group that appeared here. I think it's this one. Ah, so yeah. The Navy. There you go. The Holy Roman Empire. So you can assign control groups with that. To empty a control group, you can either right click on it or press Ctrl and the corresponding number. Ctrl 1 again. And I just empty that and it passed to the Rhine estuary here. I can do it again here. Ctrl 1. There you go. Now here it says that this is the location panel. Any location is populated by different social classes, as we saw. Pops. This is good because now EU5 has pops. Will increase the state power of their respective state. The amount of pops of each social class depends mainly on the buildings present on the location. Buildings can be built by your own states and they need to employ a specific social class. Peasants will promote to the necessary social class to fill them. Some buildings produce goods which, sold in the market, guarantee tax base. The RGO, not all locations have buildings at the RGO are instant initials of resource gathering operations at the beginning of the game, but every location specializes in producing specific goods in the resource gathering operations. That is a special type of building that employs laborers to produce raw goods. Very much like buildings RGO sell their goods in the market of the locations to generate tax base at the beginning of the game. Okay, that is talking about the RGOs and the markets. Location tax base. Here you have tax base in Den Haag 6.74 and total taxes from the location 1.91. The tax base is collected by the states according to their presence in the location. Okay. The population here is showing us that we have low Franconian. Let's see states here. We have the 45% of the state is burghers, and the burghers are subtracting the taxes in Den Haag here. You only end up receiving a fraction of those ducats in the form of taxes. The total tax base in Den Haag adds up to 6.74, of which you tax 1.91 from your states. Let us recap. So buildings and RGO in your locations employ POPs. So you have buildings and RGO that they employ POPs and they produce tax. The tax base is divided among your states. So then you have the tax going to the states and it is divided here, who in turn provide you with the taxes and levies. So it produces the taxes and levies. Because I assume this because we are in the Middle Ages. However, not all locations are equal under the sun. Let us discuss one of the most important things, which is control. Effective control of Den Haag. Among other things, control determines the amount of wealth in a location that is actually usable by your states. In other words, the tax base of location is scaled by the percentage of control you have over it. Here you can see current control 100%. So we are getting basically all the potential tax base and the effective tax base of the place. Proximity of Den Haag. This is the capital. It will always have 100% proximity. It is also dependent on the proximity on the capital, which makes sense because of the situation when you have colonies. That is why your capital is one of your most important locations, because it will always have high control. That means that buildings and RGO in your capital will always contribute to the wealth of the states and your country. Map modes. Now let's talk about map modes. The map modes, they are different lenses through which you can see various aspects. If you hover over the control tooltip in the locations panel, in here, you will see here, this colors the locations depending on the control that you own. Here you can see the map mode button at the top right of the tooltip, and when you click the map mode will change to show you the control in your locations. I think that blue means the most control, I think. You are seeing now the map, on the map, the distribution of control across your land. It says in numbers as well. Notice how control tends to decrease the farther locations are from the capital. For example, these two locations that are farther from the capital, and this one as well, is decreased. They are now decreased due to control locations in the periphery. Your domain will not be nearly as useful, at least without the proper infrastructure. Well, on this map mode, you can also right click on other countries to see their control. Let's take a look at, for example, England. You click here and you see the most amount of control is concentrated in London, and the farther it is, including these parts of the island, they have zero control coming from the capital. All of this is what is called the administrative efficiency. This is not in the tutorial, but it is called administrative efficiency of the country. Now let us take a look at the proximity map mode, which is located here. And you go for each tooltip you go here for the proximity, and here you can access the proximity map mode that shows how far away locations are from your capital. You can see that these locations in terms of England are more far away. If we go into our country, we see that we don't have red because we're not so big. You may notice how proximity spreads further along the plains and the rivers, and it is severely hampered by mountains, ranges, or forests. So for example, we have a lot of mountains here in Spain, and you can see how in Spain we have the center here, and we can see that it's hampered the ability of the country to control over the mountains, as you can see, by the topography and vegetation play an important role in the calculation of proximity. And so does the presence of human-made infrastructure like roads or ports. Clicking on different locations while on this map mode will show you the path they are using to reach the capital. Let's say here in Madrid is using this path to reach the capital. For example, in Toledo, there are no infrastructure for everything that goes in here reaches the capital. In, for example, our country, we can see that in Dordrecht, we can see that it's taking this road, and this road. Most of the roads are taken not by land, apart from this one and Leiden. And I think this one as well is taken by land. But this one that is not on the exact proximity or colindant with Den Haag is taking the road through the sea. Okay? You can see map modes here. All of these map modes are present here. Dozens of different map modes in the game that can be used. You can interest in various markets, for example. Markets are here. You can see markets. You can access all the map modes by hovering over the widget at the bottom of your screen and selecting the specific map mode. Feel free to explore, but don't feel like you need to get acquainted with all of them. Remember to go back to the default map mode by pressing Ctrl Q or selecting it from the map mode panel. I think the normal map mode is terrain default, which is this one. If I change it and I press Ctrl Q, we go directly to that one. So we have said that you need proximity to have control, but how do you improve your proximity? With roads. Roads improve the connection between two locations, reducing the proximity loss from the capital. Let us build a road from Den Haag and the Open Den Haag panel. We're going to build here. We're going to build the road here. And then it says that click on the road builder button from your capital. Roads. So here you click on the neighboring location on the map to start constructing. The neighboring location, I think it's going to be this one. I think it's this one. It's Rotterdam. There we go. Bicycle is not is. Wait. Are we in Rotterdam doing that? Let's see. See what happens here. Bravo. The road is now under construction. What is the road under construction? Can I see it? It's here in Rotterdam. Basically, it's the same thing here. The road is now under construction, apparently. Here. It will take some months to finish. You can see the construction progress in the circular widget on the map over your capital. Here. Will finish in December 22, 1337. It's going to take a lot. Once it finishes, proximity in the largest location will improve accordingly, and you will see this in control. So, meaning that it's going to improve for 53 to something. The construction of buildings, RGOs, and regiments works very similar. They cost ducats, require goods, and that came from the market. Old roads lead to Den Haag. So proximity and control are among the most important mechanics to master. Crown power, tax base, and the size of your levies will directly depend on the control you have over your locations, which in turn depends on the proximity from your capital. This means that laying out roads from the capital is paramount to all countries, big and small. Aside from roads, proximity can also propagate by sea, although doing so efficiently requires good harbor capacity and maritime presence. So proximity goes to control and improves crown power, tax bases, and levies. This is the outliner. Open the context menu here. To do this, you can utilize the context menu, which can access by right-clicking on a location. This pin a country or location to the outliner. Den Haag. Build roads. Let's see. So the contents of the outliner are customizable. To do this, you can utilize context menu, which can access by right-clicking a location or country on the map. Open the context menu, it says. Here, pin a country or location to the outliner. This one. How do I pin it? Okay, here. I have pinned it here by clicking here. Automation, nicely done. You will be able to access everything you have pinned on the right side of the screen. I think it's this. We're almost at the end of the instruction. We have automated some features to help you focus on learning the basics, but you can control what aspects of the game are automated at any time from the automation panel. Open the automation panel. This one. In this panel, you can control which aspects of your country the game will manage. For now, we recommend you stick to what has been set and go back to this panel when you feel comfortable with the basic features. So you can learn more about those features in the hints. Here we have the alerts, red or less urgent, color coded. Note that you will not get alerts related to parts of the game you have automated. Most alerts have a related hint. The agenda, open the agenda. We recommend you take a look at the agenda at the beginning of every game, where you will find a little bit of historical context of the country. Open the agenda here. And here we have historical context of Holland, everything that has to do with Holland. On to mission. We are at the end of the basic walkthrough. You can now proceed to embark on a specific walkthrough of your choosing. Depending on your choice, you receive a brief explanation that will expand your knowledge on that part of the game. After that, you will be present with different missions paths, which will offer you different goals and rewards to guide you through your initial steps. Good luck, and may your nation prosper through the tides of time. Open the government panel, open the mission tab, and pick a mission focus. Here, missions, and economy, politics, economy. Start economy walkthrough. Okay, so we are going to hopefully you are enjoying this. I'm going to continue with all of these walkthroughs of the missions and stuff. So see you in the next one.